really been proven that the act of writing things down, even if you never refer back to them, somehow works those things into your long-term memory more so than if you had just listened. So the actual physical act of taking notes or writing things down in your planner almost allows your brain to latch on to something. It's like that mind-body connection. And I do think that that's been proven true in my own life, because when I stop planning daily and when I stop journaling, I feel like I kind of become a bit aimless. I get very cloudy-headed, because I'm up in the clouds, visionary type person, and I'll forget to do things, or I'll forget what my desires and my goals are throughout the year, and then I get off course, which I don't want to do, and neither do you. Look at all of your goals and your dreams through this framework that I learned from a mentor of mine, and it's the stop, start, and keep framework. So I think sometimes if you're, a bit stuck in life, or if you tend to be more of a visionary, you may not know where to start with goal planning, dreaming, or, setting your desires or intentions down on paper. So having something that's more practical that kind of allows you to assess and then prune what you're doing is really helpful. So think about what things you need to stop doing right now, things that may not be working for you, whether that's through your fashion, your style, your health choices, certain relationships maybe, things that you do for yourself, or do in your business, or do as a creative hobby or outlet or something like that. Then you need to think about things that you'd like to start doing. Creative projects, starting a new relationship, starting a new healthy habit, whatever that might look like for you. And then finally keeping things that are working. So what are the relationships you want to double down on? What are the things that you're doing at work or in your business that are working really well, or things that you're doing for your self-care or your personal wellness that are working really, really well? So an example for me is something I want to keep doing is I want to keep going to counseling. Something I would like to start doing is having more fun. I want to try to plan something fun to do every single month. And then something I would like to stop doing is stop spending so much time on social media and TV just scrolling. So those are some basic things, but I go into more detail in my blog post, so go check that out. Find a routine and a sacred space to do this. I know that not everybody's schedule is the same and not everybody's household is the same, so you have to find something that works for you specifically. But for me, I love getting up around 5:30 or 6 or 6:30 depending on how I feel, and I know not everyone has that luxury, so get up when it works best for you. And I get my coffee going, I get my liter of water in my water bottle, I pee, I take the dog pee, and then I go sit down on the couch with my coffee in the French press, and I've got my journal and my planner, and I just sit down and I start writing out all the things I need to do that day, all the things I need to get done. And having that consistent routine allows me to really get into the flow. We need the flow to be able to get into that creative space and get things done. So one thing that I really love about the Unbound planner that I'll just show you guys right now is that it has a weekly setup. It has a weekly setup here that you can see. Starting with Monday to Sunday, and it's just columns for the week. And then I draw this line here for every week. And what I put at the top here is my morning routine, which is not what I just described to you, but the things that happen after my planning. So I do my devotions, I do yoga, I make breakfast, I walk my dog, and then depending on the day, I'll work out a little bit, then shower and get ready. Then below that, I write down my list of things that I need to get done. And this is like a brain dump, What I love about the brain dump type situation is that, yeah, you can write this list down, but then if you don't get those things done, you can just carry them over to the following day, to the following day, to the following day. And what's fantastic is if you don't happen to get those things done that week, you simply go to the next week and you start off with this fresh weekly, pre-weekly planning table, you could call it, where you can write your to-dos, you can write your top priorities, your weekly goals. Then you have a section for planning and brainstorming. Then you've got your morning routine and habits and stuff like that, acts of kindness and self-care. One of my favorite questions to ask myself is, what was I doing in the year or the day or the week when I was most proud? of myself, when I felt most myself. And it kind of helps me to set the tone for what goals I want to create, what ideas I want to reach for, and just kind of how I want to move through life. And so what's really awesome about the Unbound planner is that at the beginning and end of these planners, there's been a lot of care taken to give you the space to self-reflect. This is the beginning of the planner, and there's several questions here for you to dive into self-reflection. And I think this is important because you need to be able to put down on paper, or to actually maybe just understand, even if you don't write it on paper, what could be holding you back internally. A lot of the time we'll have these habits that we're unaware of, and it's really habits that form our character. It's habits that form our life, and it's really hard to break old habits through just sheer willpower. So understanding what makes you tick is really important. So you've got the self-reflection at the beginning of the year, but you also have the self-reflection at the end of the year. And I just finished mine from 2021. I have this end of year reflection here, and it's amazing. I love filling this out every year, and it just asks you to assess your physical, mental health, your family, friends, career, finances, and passions, and then kind of asks you about what you took away from 2021 and what you'd like to do moving forward. But I just love flipping through my planner and seeing all the things that I wrote down that year. And what's so fantastic about writing things down, although it might feel laborious, there is some benefit to it. If you're like me and you kind of are curious about human behavior, then you might really get a lot out of going back through your planner and your journal and taking note of how your behavior has changed or not changed over the years. Because sometimes you might be bumping your head up against the same wall, not realizing that certain habits or characteristics that you have are kind of holding you back from reaching a certain goal. Like maybe you just, need to make some tweaks in your morning routine or your evening routine, or maybe you have some scheduling, conflicts that you can't seem to quite work out that hold you back from doing a certain project, or maybe you need some encouragement to develop healthier habits, and so you want to start writing those daily healthy habits down, like consuming water or supplements, or making sure you're writing down your meals or something like that. And what I find so great about, again, the Unbound planner is that it's kind of a holistic planner. It helps you to track weekly not only your gratitude here, but also your meals. And then at the top of each day's column is a little section like a heart with like a heartbeat, so for physical activity, then your little water droplets for your water consumption, and then a tiny little capsule for your supplements or medication or whatever. So it's just a fantastic way to kind of keep track of your whole life, really. I know that can seem a little overwhelming, so I'll just be really focused on what are my big desires for myself and my family, like what's gonna move the needle forward for me and Mike. I feel like as long as you have a vision for who you are and where you want to go in life, just give yourself the space and time to write it down and reflect on it, and trying to kind of self-analyze and make some adjustments and tweaks to move forward. Honestly, there is so much more in this planner that I could show you, but I really think that you should get one for yourself and dive in and start planning. I really think this is a fantastic gift for someone in your life in January. Even if it's past the 1st, it's never too late to start using this. I'm a very late to the game type of a person, and oftentimes I'm not getting my planner until the 2nd or 3rd week of January, but that's totally fine. You can start at any time you want to, and you can write as little or as much as you want to, and you're going to be doing great. I'm really, really, really grateful that Annie created something so lovely for us. Definitely go check her out. Use my code Brianna10 to get 10% off your Unbound planner. And guys, I would love to know in the comment section below, like, what are your best goal setting tips? What are your best planning tips? And then if you feel like it, share with me what's your biggest goal or dream for yourself in 2022. All right, you all, I love you so very much. I'm really grateful for you. I can't wait to see you again this year. There's lots of good videos planned. Have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you guys again next week. Take really good care of yourself. Bye.